Biggest fool in the kingdom. King Krishnadevaraya loved horses and had the best collection of horse breeds in the kingdom. Well, one day, a trader came to the king and told him that he had brought with him a horse of the best breed in Arabia. He invited the king to inspect the horse. King Krishnadevaraya loved the horse, so the trader said that the king could buy this one and that he had two more like this one back in Arabia that he would go back to get. The king loved the horse so much that he had to have the other two as well. He paid the trader 5,000 gold coins in advance. The trader promised that he would return within 2 days with the other horses. 2 days turned into 2 weeks, and still, there was no sign of the trader and the 2 horses. One evening, to ease his mind, the king went on a stroll in his garden. There he spotted Tenali Raman writing down something on a piece of paper. Curious, the king asked Tenali what he was jotting down. Tenali Raman was hesitant, but after further questioning, he showed the king the paper. On the paper was a list of names, the king's being at the top of the list. Tenali said these were the names of the biggest fools in the Vijayanagara kingdom. As expected, the king was furious that his name was at the top and asked Tenali Raman for an explanation. Tenali referred to the horse story, saying the king was a fool to believe that the trader, a stranger, would return after receiving 5,000 gold coins. Countering his argument, the king then asked, "What happens when the trader does come back?" In true Tenali humor, he replied saying, in that case, the trader would be a bigger fool, and his name would replace the king's on the list. Moral of the story is don't believe strangers blindly.
Tanaraman outsmarts a cheat. Once upon a time, Raman set out on a long journey. In those days, one had to walk through the jungle to get to another city. On the way, another traveler joined Raman. "This place is infested with thieves. I am afraid they will rob me. Can I travel with you?" the man asked Raman. Raman readily agreed. That night, the two of them stopped at some place to rest. Raman was tired and fell asleep soon. His companion was waiting for this moment. In fact, he was a thief who used to rob travelers. He got up and looked under Raman's pillow without disturbing him. He found nothing. He carefully searched Raman's pockets looking for money. To his disappointment, he did not find even a paisa. Then he opened the bundle Raman was carrying. Again, he found nothing. The next morning, the two resumed their journey. They halted for the night. Raman had a sound sleep. His companion searched Raman's belongings, looking for money and valuables. Again, he was disappointed. The next day, the two travelers reached the holy city of Tirupati, and they had to part company. The companion confessed that he was a thief. "I have never met with failure, but this time I failed. Now that we are parting company, please tell me where did you hide the money in the night?" pleaded the thief. "Unless I know your secret, I may not be able to sleep," he confessed. Raman smiled. "I knew you were a thief the moment I saw you. I took care to hide money where you would never find it." "But where?" "I looked for it everywhere," cried out the thief. "Did you look for it under your pillow?" asked Raman. "I looked for it under your pillow and found nothing." "Why should I look for your money under my pillow?" asked the bewildered thief. "Because I hid the money under your pillow," said Raman. "I was confident it was the one place you would never look for my money."
Battle FO Wits. A great pundit came to Vijayanagara. He had mastered all the scriptures, and had won the admiration of learned men all over Asia. He had come to challenge the pundits in the court of King Krishnadevaraya to face him in a debate. The scholars in Vijayanagara were reluctant to face this pundit. They felt they were no match to the pundit in scholarship. But the king would be annoyed if they refused to accept the challenge. One of them said, "Let us speak to Raman. Surely, he will find a solution." The pundits called on Raman and explained the situation. Raman assured them that he could take on the challenger. "For one day, you must accept me as the chief pundit," he said. The other pundits readily agreed. The next day, the pundits carried Raman in a palanquin to the palace hall. Raman and the challenger sat facing each other. Two pundits carrying a huge bundle wrapped in silken cloth entered the hall. They placed the bundle next to Raman and bowed to him. Raman placed his hand on the bundle next to him. "We can begin the debate discussing the merits of Tila Kashta Mahishabandhana," said Raman. The other pundit was taken aback. He had read thousands of scholarly works in Sanskrit. But he had never heard of this work mentioned by Raman. If he had not even read anything about it, how could he discuss the merits of this work? The pundit conceded defeat and quietly left the palace. The king was curious to know what great work Raman had referred to. Raman removed the silk cloth, revealing a huge bundle of sticks tied with a thick rope. The king frowned and asked Raman to explain. "Maharaj, til is mustard, kashta is stick. Tilakashta means sticks of mustard plants," explained Raman. Then, displaying the rope, Raman said, "This is rope used to tie up a buffalo. Mahisha means buffalo. Bandhana means the rope used for tying. So, this is Tila Kashta Mahisha Bandhana." The king burst out laughing. The poor pundit had gotten scared when he heard such a complicated name. Raman had saved the honor of Vijayanagara by his wit. The king richly rewarded Raman. Who is more cursed? In the kingdom of Vijayanagara, there lived a man named Ramaya. The rumor was that if one saw Ramaya in the morning, they would be cursed and not be able to eat the whole day. Hearing this, the king wanted to test it out for himself. The guards made the arrangements for Ramaya and set up a room right next to the king for him. The next morning, the king walked to Ramaya's room, so he could look at him first thing and test this rumor out. It just so happened that at lunchtime, the king spotted a fly in his meal and asked the cook to take it away and prepare a new lunch. By the time lunch was served again, the king had lost his appetite and realized that this rumor was indeed true. Seeing Ramaya's face first thing in the morning did cause people to be cursed. He didn't wish this for his people and demanded that Ramaya be hanged. Distraught, Ramaya's wife goes to Tenali Raman for help as she doesn't want to lose her husband. Hearing the whole story, Tenali Raman goes to Ramaya and whispers something into his ear, right before he is to be taken to be hanged. On the same day, the guards ask Ramaya if he has any last wishes. Ramaya says he wants to give the king a note that he must read before the hanging. The guards deliver this note to the king. In the note were the words Tenali Raman had whispered. If seeing Ramaya's face, one loses their appetite, then a person who sees the king's face first thing in the morning is destined to lose his life. Who is, therefore, more cursed, Ramaya or the king? Reading this, the king understood his mistake and set Ramaya free. Moral of the story is, don't give in to superstitions.